Yo guys, what is up? So, we just got 2 new Star Wars games announced at the Game Awards, guys. I was not expecting this at the Game Awards at all. I knew there was like a rumour about a Star Wars game being announced at the Game Awards, but two? Man, I was not waiting for that kind of announcement at all. Like, to be honest, like one of them we know is coming out next year, which is pretty cool. But the other one we don't have an exact date, and it could be a while till we see that game. But this is still cool, to be fair, because when was the last time Star Wars announced 2 games in like the same time, or like ever? That's probably like back in, was it 2015 or whatever, when the first Battlefront and Galaxy of Heroes came out, maybe, or like back in the old days of LucasArts games. Like, it's absolutely crazy. But yeah, we got 2 new announcements. We got Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic, a new like KOTOR game, or as people are now calling it, FOTOR. And we also got another game as well, which I have been wanting for years, kind of like the Battlefront series. We got a new like racing game in Star Wars called Star Wars Galactic Racer. Man, I absolutely loved the Star Wars Racer game back in the day, like the pod racing game. That was just so good. Like, I just loved pod racing in like the first film, The Phantom Menace, as well. Seeing it in episode 1, Phantom Menace, was just so cool. But at the moment, this is like a good step, in my opinion, of like Lucasfilm games, to be honest, because this is what the old era of like Star Wars games used to be back like in the LucasArts days, when we used to get like 2 to 3 Star Wars games a year. This was obviously before Disney obviously acquired Lucasfilm and that. But it's crazy because we also had the announcement of the card collectible Star Wars game as well earlier this last week as well. Like, so it does seem like we're going in the right rate. Is it what people want? Not exactly, but is there Battlefront 3? No, but I do think this is slightly going in the right direction, and let's just hope maybe they will announce a new multiplayer Star Wars game soon. Like a shooter, but we shall see. But let's jump into Fate of the Old Republic. That's what I want to start off talking about. So let's talk more details about that game first. Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, guys. When I first saw this, I generally thought this was that intergalactic game at first, from Naughty Dog at first. But as soon as we got closer to like the ground, when you see the ship landing on the surface and you see the Sith like destroyer from KOTOR, like I had a feeling that's what it looked like. That like the Leviathan, I believe it was called. That obviously it was Darth Revan had, but yeah, this was something special when I saw that. And then when you see our 3 characters here, one of them might be a droid, one of them is clearly a Jedi by the end of the trailer, when we see her ignite her lightsaber facing some sort of being or something in this room. I know a lot of people saying, is that Revan? Because he's kind of looks like it's got a hood or something, but I don't think it is. It might be something else. And I believe there was like another alien species. When you like zoom in on our 3 characters walk into the Sith ship, looks like one of the aliens might be a Corran, I think. I would take that with a grain of salt, but kind of looks like it when you like zoom in on it. But yeah, I do think the ship that they come in on at the beginning, looking back at it, it does remind me of Luthen's ship from Andor, to be honest, a little bit. It does give me that vibe, like the design of it, to be honest. But yeah, this is going to be something special. It's being made by a new studio, which has just been formed a few months back, apparently. So it does seem like this game is going to be a while away, to be honest. So it's kind of giving me the vibe of Star Wars Eclipse and the KOTOR remake. Because that's another thing, guys. This has apparently got nothing to do with the KOTOR remake. This is going to be like a separate game. The KOTOR remake is apparently still coming. It's just whether this game is going to come out before that or maybe KOTOR 1. I know there's rumours this past week that apparently they're interested in remaking KOTOR 2 as well, which would be really cool, guys. Like the KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, that era is just so good, to be honest. Like, I'm just such a big fan of the Old Republic era, and you never know, with the announcement of this and the KOTOR remakes coming, and even like the ongoing Old Republic game on PC that's still going all the years later, maybe this will give Disney a push to start building more content in like the TV and the films, like for the Old Republic era, because we already know that Darth Revan is canon from like the new canon, basically, with references to him in like the Rise of Skywalker and that, of like subtle Easter eggs and that. So there is that as well, and I do think they want to do more with the Old Republic era. I know they've been pushing this High Republic era, but I don't mind the High Republic. I just do think the Old Republic is just what will bring more people back into Star Wars generally, to be honest. But yeah, but as I was saying, this is a new studio, which I believe it's called Arcanaut Studios, and it is bringing back Casey Hudson as the director of this project. He was obviously the director of the Mass Effect trilogy and the original KOTOR games, guys. Like, come on. They've brought back Casey Hudson. This is going to be epic as hell. But yeah. It does seem like, from online, it does seem like it will be out by 2030. So I'm guessing, so if it's not, it's definitely not coming out next year or 2027 if it's only been in development for a few months. I'm going to guess maybe 28 or 29 the earliest for this game, to be honest. But yeah. But overall, I really liked the trailer. I was so shocked when this happened. Like, is this female Jedi in the trailer? Is that meant to be Bas Lashana? I don't know. Are they going to bring back her, Revan, and other characters from the KOTOR games? Will we get anything like that? Because we know what the original idea was for like a KOTOR 3 originally, where it would have explored what happened to Revan. Did he find the Sith Emperor in the unknown regions? That was like the basis story, basically, that they were thinking of doing. But yeah, overall, guys, I'm a big fan of this, and I can't wait for this. Might be a while till we get it, but let's wait for them, let them cook, and we'll see what happens. But let's now jump over to a new Star Wars game that got announced, Star Wars Galactic Racer, because we now know when that is coming out. But yeah, Star Wars Galactic Racer. Now, this is just such a good announcement. Like, I've been clamoring for a new like pod racer, like racer game in like the Star Wars universe for years. It does look very interesting. So in this trailer, we do see multiple worlds as well. So yeah, and different like vehicles we can use. Interestingly, it doesn't look like there's any pod racers though, but I can't imagine them making this game and not having pod racers in this. Like, that'd be very interesting if they went that route. But you could see speeder bikes, different like speeders and that. Even like the speed I think Han Solo uses in the Solo A Star Wars Story at the beginning of the film. But yeah, this looks very interesting, to be fair. Like, I'm just very excited. It does look like I'll be able to play in third and first person just from some of the camera angles in this trailer. So, yeah, it's an interesting one, I must admit. And at the end, we do see Old Man Saboba. How the hell did we get Old Man Saboba? Oh, if Saboba's in a game, you can't tell me they're not going to have pod races in this. Like, they literally put Saboba at the end of this trailer because they know that would, like, get fans intrigued. If you're like a fan of pod racing or Phantom Menace. But yeah, this is just such a tease, to be honest. Like, I want to see what Saboba's up to during the time of like the New Republic era, because this is clearly after the Battle of Jakku as well. Like, we're definitely after like the fall of the Empire. So yeah. So we do know the studio is working on this. So it's called Fuse Games and Secret Mode, which I believe they are new studios from like the Need for Speed games, and we have some people from like ex Criterion employees as well, which I believe they worked on the vehicle gameplay for Battlefront 2, which is pretty cool. So we know that they can definitely do vehicle gameplay, like from like the starfighters and that in Battlefront 2. But yeah, this is very interesting. I do wonder if it'll kind of have like a similar thing to Squadrons as well, where you could actually play that game and have like VR headset as well. That'd be really cool. I don't think there's anything about that yet. Obviously, we do know that both of these games announcements, it does seem like they come on PlayStation, Xbox, PC and that, so yeah. And they're both being made in Unreal Engine, so yeah, pretty cool stuff. But yeah, as I was saying, going back to some of the planets we see in this trailer, does look like we get like Jakku as well, which is really cool because you can obviously like what's left from the Battle of Jakku. But yeah, there is a brief sort of description from this game. So the Empire's grip on the galaxy is finally broken. With the fall comes a new obsession: speed. As the New Republic struggles to rebuild, gambling, entertainment and glory fuel a booming underground. Out of the chaos, the Galactic League is born, an unsanctioned racing circuit where syndicate-sponsored pilots' fortunes are won and lost in seconds, and only the bold survive. At the heart of all is Shade, a lone racer, which we do see in the trailer, which is the character at the beginning, I believe. So, a lone racer with a dream of glory and revenge. For Shade, the League isn't just a race, it's a shot of reclaiming destiny, but standing in Shade's way is Kester, a ruthless rival who has his own power-hungry plans for the League. As the Galactic League rises, so does the rivalry that could define it. Shade must forge alliances, outpace rivals, and survive long enough to become an elite racing pilot. Speed across new, iconic Star Wars planets, with every world hosting new kind of chaos. It's not enough to be fast, you have to know your circuits, branching routes, varied environments, and dynamic risk-reward choices. Ensure no two runs play the same. Select from multiple repulsor craft classes, each with distinct handling and tactical advantages. Customize your build, unlock new abilities on every run, and master brutal takedowns. Choose which events to conquer as you race through dynamic campaigns of speed, sabotage, and survival, or battle rivals for supremacy in competitive multiplayer. No force, no prophecy, just skill, strategy, and the will to rise. Okay, guys, so yeah, that's just a brief description that we've got of the game, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it does say multiplayer, which is pretty cool. Probably our first multiplayer game for Star Wars in a while. I know it's not like a shooter like a Battlefront, but at least we're getting multiplayer content, which is what we need desperately. But let's just hope it does last a while, the multiplayer, because I know some games don't last that long. But yeah, that is pretty much the description of that. But overall, guys, we got 2 new Star Wars announcements. But yeah, I'm really happy with these 2 Star Wars announcements. I know that this one is coming out, Galactic Racers, in 2026. Don't know when, but at some point it's coming out next year. We might have to wait a bit longer, obviously, for Fate of the Old Republic, but we just got to stay patient, guys, okay? But yeah, overall, I'm a big fan of this announcements. But yeah, I'm going to leave it with you. What do you think, guys, of Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic and Star Wars Galactic Racer? Are you excited? Let me know down below. Subscribe to the channel and leave your thoughts down below. And I'll see you next time.